And we are live, Brother Keith. What's going on today?
Hey, Joe, good morning. Good
Yes,
morning from southern Chester County to what county are you in, Joel?
I am in, good question. I think I am in
No.
Clifton County.
What is it?
Sorry about that. I can't remember if it's Clifton or Lackawanna County.
Oh, Lackawanna.
Yeah. Now, let's see. There's
Lack of
Lackawanna
knowledge of where you are.
but Clifton Township. I think I'm in Clifton Township.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
Good question. Well, nonetheless, I'm at Big Bass Lake in Goldsboro, Pennsylvania, and I am sitting on the sun porch again. Same spot I was 2 weeks ago. But as I was saying, Keith, that because of the time change and the fact that the sun is out today,
yes,
has made things a little tricky as far as where I sit. Because where I sat the other day or 2 weeks ago was over like that way, close to a window. But now the sun's shining through there and is playing crazy tricks on my camera. So anyway,
no, that's nice. I noticed the couch. I noticed the I noticed the love seat. Is it back there?
That is the love seat,
and it actually looks nicer with a cushion on it. Little inside joke there.
Oh yeah, there's a cushion that you can sit on. Right?
So when I come up to visit, I can actually sit on that thing, Joel.
You thought that maybe it didn't have a cushion, right?
I thought, some of that new decor that Swede decor, whatever they call that stuff. All right, well,
why don't you start us off, Keith? I got my coffee. You got yours?
Yeah, I just got it off the burner. I'm ready to go. So there's a lot of people here. What? Who's sure? Okay, yeah. Anyway, so grab your coffee, relax. We got a great show for you coming up in a second. We will be right back.
Here we go.
From the Somerset Studios in Westchester, Pennsylvania, it's Smack and Jack Live with your co-hosts Keith and Joel Slenderman.
Jack up your income, smack it in the face. Jack it up, smack.
Well, we've got some excited fans on today. Bergwick's good to see you again.
It's been a while, man.
But
2020, all right.
Simon in, Joey's here, Linda's here. We're not going to get political at all, but I got to tell you, Joel, maybe I'll wait till a couple more people get on because a couple of my friends down in Jim's on. Good to see you, Jim. I'll tell you in a second. I'll just see if a couple more people get on before I make the announcement. Because hey, it is day Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, day 5, the 2020 presidential election.
So, an entire week, right?
Hey, Joel, got a tidbit of trivia, just topical history for today.
Right.
Yesterday, 160 years ago yesterday, Abraham Lincoln, you know the guy that, he's all right. I mean, he did some stuff. He was okay. He wasn't great. He did some stuff. He won the election.
Wow. That was
16th. I can't remember what president he was, but it was Tuesday, November 6th, 160 years ago.
Wow. I believe he was the 16th president, Keith. Man.
What's that?
I believe he was the 16th.
I started reading that, and then you know how I am with reading. I got kind of
you got sidetracked by the second word.
19th quadrennial presidential election. It says 19th quadrennial. What does that mean?
I don't know. Myron, help us out. What in the world does that mean?
There's Myron. Okay, Myron's on. I got to tell you, everybody. I think I have to call my doctor. Because my doctor says, call him if my election lasts this long. I saw that come up yesterday. Thanks, Uncle Brad, for
Brad,
I got to tweak it a little bit and Yes.
Everybody
Everybody's
hear me?
election is lasting a little bit too. Oops, did I say election? Election. Lasting too long. So what's going on, Joel?
Hey, Keith, before we get into the heavy duty stuff,
yeah.
I wanted to let you know, have you ever been to Harbor Freight Tools?
No, somebody said they were good. They weren't good tools. Am I wrong or what?
Well, they very may well be correct that they're not good tools, but I've had good fortune with them. I wanted to let you know, Keith, that 2 weeks ago, I took a trip down to Sharon Hill, which is actually just beyond where my place is down in Collingdale. There, it's just
right. Yes.
McKay Boulevard.
Right.
And I went to Harbor Freight Tools, and I picked up. You know what this is, Keith?
Hey, Barbara. Well, let me get my glasses on. What is that? Oh, nice. That's a sander.
Yes, it's an oscillating multi-function power tool. So it's one of those tools that has a sander on it, but you can also put a blade there.
Yes.
Right, to kind of dive cut into walls and moldings and so forth.
Yep.
I've wanted one of these things for years.
Oh, that's awesome.
Really sure, but
well, actually, I could use that. So bring that home with you this week, would you, Joel? I'll trade you for a truck rental for tomorrow.
Okay, you got it, man. You got it.
That's cool. Yeah, they are. You know, if you put floors down or anything, you got to trim off a little bit of your molding. Or that's great, Joel.
So here's a true story. The last time I was up here, there was a piece of wood around our electrical box, Keith, that when you go to open the electric panel on the door on the electric panel, the piece of wood up top was blocking it. So you had to bend the panel door to get it around that piece of wood to open.
Right.
And of course, when we leave here, I want to shut off the water. I want to shut off the hot water heater. So I have to open that each time, so I was like, oh, this is a drag. So I had no tool. I ended up drilling holes all the way across that top piece of wood, drill holes, and then hack away with it with a little screwdriver.
Now that top piece of
like
wood,
a bee's nest, man.
That's not one of your joists, is it?
No. It's just when they put it. I guess they updated the electrical here a little while back, but they didn't cut the opening for the box quite big enough. I don't know how they did it, but so anyway. Yeah, I hacked away at it, and what I really needed was this tool right here.
Yeah,
so I could just kind of go in and cut it across. But it was too big to get any. I mean, it's too small of a space to get any other saw into. You couldn't get any motion like this with
an
saw. I couldn't
get a reciprocating saw.
I couldn't get that. There was no way.
It might be too deep. Right.
Exactly right. And I only had like 2 inches, so I just drilled. I hammered. Oh, it's
God.
Anyway, you can't see it, so.
That's hilarious.
That's
now you go clean it up.
That's why I bought it.
Yeah.
All right, Keith. So that's my little.
So bring this up. What Meyer says. Quad. I can't even read the thing.
Quad alludes to 4 something. 4 aces is quads, for example. Yes. So you were talking about.
19th quadrennial presidential. So that's 4. Quadrennial. Well, I mean, every 4 years.
Yeah, Barbara says every 4 years. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you. All right. Now. Okay.
Thank goodness we have scholars on the show.
Yeah, really. All I can think of is quadrangle, and that's 4 too. So
yeah, we were pretty much sunk in 2 minutes into our show here because.
Hey, Heather, Larry, what's happening? What's going on over there at the dog house?
Yeah, good to have you on. Okay, guys, what do you think of this? What do you think of the election week? The election week.
Well,
so far. Go ahead, Keith.
I think it's gone pretty well. I mean, we knew this was going to happen. We didn't have all the laws in place to count the stuff beforehand. So, we're counting ballots. A lot of people mailed in because they were afraid to go out in the general public, and our numbers are climbing again. COVID. I had a guy in the wine store yesterday. He works in a testing facility out in Exton, and they had 2 days in a row, they had over 200 people test positive for COVID that came in Exton. That's Exton.
Now, Keith, if I may correct you, this is a fictional nothing disease, right? I mean, this is a nothing virus. Right?
Well,
and all the numbers pretty much mean nothing.
Well, actually, we are going to wake up one day. It's all going to miraculously disappear.
Right, and that will probably be it's supposed to be this week, right?
Right. when all the stars align and this big red ball comes out of the sky with this with this plume around at the top of the thing, it's all going to be better. But yet we have yet to see it, and we need to get rid of all the doctors on the planet.
Correct.
Too many testing sites. Let's get rid of the testing sites. We don't need the testing sites. What was the question you asked me a couple minutes ago?
What were your thoughts on the election?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, sorry. I'm sorry.
I thought, but it's kind of what I expected. Everybody's getting a little antsy. We Americans want everything just like that. Sometimes it doesn't necessarily happen like that, and I think we're doing real well. Everything, it seems to me, there's BS on a lot of the stuff, but it seems to me it's all going pretty well protected, and it looks, it's an election, and that's what I'm feeling that this is the way it's going to be 4 years from now too. Other countries do it. We've been doing absentee ballots forever.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just now it's on a bigger scale, and why not? Somebody was asking me yesterday, why you can pay everything you can pay for on your phone, your credit card, your electric. Why can't we just set up an app that you vote? So look for that in 4 years. When we pay our bills on our phone, Joel, I've never had any problem with it. The money goes through. It doesn't get stolen from anybody else. I don't get 20 or 30 people paying my phone bill at the same time. I don't have people coming over.
You, right?
Yeah, I don't have people coming over from Camden just to pay my phone bill.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. Hi Tara, how are you? No, you're not too late. We just started.
Yeah, we just started, Tara. Good to see you. So remind us, Keith, why were there so many mail-in ballots this year as opposed to any other year? Why were there so many mail-in ballots?
Well, as I know, my friend Barbara tells me, I think before you had to have a reason to have a mail-in ballot. You were either out of the country, sick, invalid, or something like that. Now they made it so everybody wants to social distance. We were afraid that there'd be too many lines and all that kind of stuff. So we opened up the balloting to mail in, and that's as
right. So this is not something that just kind of happened. Oh, I think we're just going to get a mail-in ballot because I don't feel like going to stand in line like I have done every other year in my entire life as far as voting goes. So you're suggesting, Keith, since we were actually in a worldwide pandemic,
yes,
that it was recommended that we mail in ballots.
Right. Yes.
That's what
and I have friends, dear friends. My friend Barbara lives in a community that they have 2 polling places. Get her car and drive over, but it was more convenient for her to mail in. I've got people that I work with that are my age that mailed in because it's more convenient. They've been working from home for months and months and months. They don't want to go out. They don't want to stand in line. And it's the only problem I saw with it is, some people may get confused because there's 2 envelopes,
Yep.
But the people I've talked to that use them, it says it's all self-explanatory and it's all, everything's our state top officials, when they're not living in Washington, they live in Florida. And I believe they have been voting that way for quite some time.
Oh,
I don't know who these people are.
Yep.
I don't know who these people are, but some of the ones that do a lot of blabbing and false BSing and all that kind of stuff. Been voting that way forever. So why can't we all vote that way? So I think it's
right.
But apparently the laws weren't in place to start counting these things before 8 o'clock Tuesday night, I believe.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that for a minute. Number one, you said that your friend Barbara had 2 polling places in her community.
Yes.
Okay, was that on the 3rd election day?
Yes, yeah. Yep.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So that brings me to the state of Texas, where the governor limited the ballot drop-off to one drop-off box per county. One drop-off box per county, where some of the counties had, let's take Westchester or Chester County, let's take Delaware County, millions of people, one drop-off box per county.
Yes.
Okay, now tell me that that's not limiting. Tell me that's not voter suppression. Now, I don't care what you're voting for. Is that voter suppression?
Sure it is.
I mean, come on. All right, now let's get back to Pennsylvania. Let's not even talk about the fact that we wanted to stop the vote in Pennsylvania, but continue voting in Arizona. Again, somebody explain that to me. All right, why are we going to stop the vote in Pennsylvania, but keep voting in Arizona? Again, I'm not mentioning any names. I don't care who you voted for. Why?
Right. Make everything the same. Yes. And if you're
the difference there. All right. Now let's get back to Pennsylvania again.
Yeah.
Because I think there was a ruling that we could not start counting the ballots until 8 o'clock.
Until the polls had closed. Correct.
Exactly. Yes. Even though there was a push to start getting them counted before 8 o'clock. I don't know what time was. I don't even know the specifics, but is somebody explain that one to me? So explain that one to me. Why can't we start counting those votes earlier? Because obviously everybody wanted, and then we want to stop counting them at 12 midnight.
Yeah, right.
You're going to give them millions of ballots, and you want from 8 o'clock to 12 o'clock to count them.
Count them, and that's it. Yep.
Come on, just explain this to me. Again, I don't care who you voted for. Just explain why we would stop counting and make it different from any other year. Stop counting at 12. Let's go back to the year 2000 with the hanging flag, right? How long did that go?
Exactly.
Come on, let's stop. Let's not change the rules of the game while we're actually playing the game
to suit whoever's right.
Exactly. I mean, I'm just looking. I'm not looking for a blame game here. I'm just looking for some answers of why this is going on. And I will say there are political figures who are at this point distancing themselves, probably in a good way, because they want to save their own careers.
Well, yeah, that's the thing too. But I mean, this is unprecedented. We've, since when was the Asian flu or whatever? I doubt there was an election that year because I didn't hear anything about it, or not the Spanish flu. This is unprecedented, and we couldn't get our act together to agree on when to count these things and all that kind of stuff. But it's here, and then we got to deal with it. So, but it's all got. I mean, I'm not a politician, and I pride myself on being slightly honest. I would want everybody to vote. I would want it to be counted, and I would want to be able to say I won or I lost.
Exactly.
And the country spoke, and they told me what this is, but it's not the world we live in, ladies and gentlemen.
I hope this is what I hope. I hope that every vote is recounted whoever wants it recounted,
right,
3 times, and then we get the result. Okay, and that's the result.
Yes.
Just keep counting.
Yes. However, I did hear that recounts don't really do a whole lot. They have had recounts in the past, and they don't really change things too much. But that makes everybody happy. Recount, but the only problem is that's going to take more time, so that we're going to get more antsy. This may drag on for quite some time.
Yep.
And I just love watching. I've been watching CNN in the morning lately, and I tell you, their graphics and their I thought the football guys had a lot to say about Sunday's game, but these guys are really stepping it up a notch.
Yeah. Hey, did you see when they mentioned Delaware County?
No.
I forget what day it was. It was Thursday, I think, and Delaware County came up on CNN.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's right. And he said Delco. A lot of people from Delaware, they call it Delco.
Did he say that?
Yeah, the guy, not Wolf Blitzer. It was the other guy.
Okay.
Yeah, and he said, I know somebody that lives in Delaware County, and they call it Delco. I'm not from Delco, but yeah, I mean, it's funny. Nationally, yep, Delco is finally on the map.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's bringing a lot of, maybe we'll get some vacation or travel money from this. People like, oh, let's check out Pennsylvania. Start looking at places to stay. Pennsylvania is a beautiful state.
Let's go to Delco.
Yeah.
I've told you this before. I cannot stand that term. When I hear and I see Delco, like that is not me.
Well,
maybe I'm just
we were from the county seat of Delco, which sounds snotty or anything because we lived in a very, very modest house, but media Delco is different than other parts of Delco, and
look at this comment from Joy.
Great.
Thanks, Keith.
Oh,
thank you very much.
Okay, all right.
All right. So
I was just thinking of that the other day, and I've been living out in Westchester for quite a many years. And on the news, when they talk to people in that area, Delaware County, on the news, and it's like, man, I'm so glad I don't sound like that. But thank you, Joy.
Yeah.
I guess I do sound like that.
You know what's really strange? When we have guest choral conductors come to our area, choir directors and so forth, they have said, these people from way out of town, they said that the Delaware County accent is one of the hardest to get out of the singing when they have groups together.
Oh, wow.
Like this, I guess we call that dialect, right? Or something. Like, oh my gosh. So, very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah.
So I did want to point out, Keith, that there were, I forget what site it was, that again in Texas, there was somebody was caught for voter fraud because they signed up 60, this is from like a nursing home, 60 people without their consent and signing. So I will say that I'm sure it happens, that, some of these things do happen, and I hope that they weed them out and take care of them.
Sure, and but I'm sure this has happened over history. Yeah. I mean, even with I'm so non-trusting of the human psyche that it's like I go to the polling place and I fill out the ballot and I give it to the guy and he throws it through the machine. It's like, well, how do I know once it gets to the machine that they don't have a certain percentage of them they just throw out, or
not like a shredder, right?
Right, you're right. It's every other one shreds. What's that noise? It's just a machine making noise. Yeah, don't worry about it.
Jammed up again, darn it.
But we just got it. We have to. Hey, Scott.
Hey, good to see you, Scott.
You're good.
So,
all sorts of.
You guys will know about that, wouldn't you? The whole singing. I'm sure Mr. Smith had to pound that out of the kids down there. All right, so let's move on, Keith.
Yes. Okay. Let go.
How about we do? Did you have any this day in history?
I had one, and it was yesterday.
All right, let's get to our trivia. But before you do that, if you're getting anything out of the show today, we would love for you to smack the like button, love the love button, or give us a share, make a comment, say, please get off the internet waves, or we'd love to see you back on next week, right?
Okay. I got to tell you, Joel, there's a lot worse you could be watching right now. There's a lot worse.
That is true. Keith, today our trivia is actually political trivia, believe it or not. All right, so let's share here. And let's go over here.
Oh, okay, right. Go ahead. Bring it up. I'll read them. You want me to read them?
Yeah, go ahead.
I've been doing a little bit of practicing.
Let's do this.
Reading. Yeah, let's see it here, Joel. Bring it up. Bring it up.
There you go.
Which Elton John song did President Donald Trump use to nickname North Korea leader Kim Jong-un? Huh. Oops, I was going to answer it already. Okay, you got that one. Which Elton John song did President Donald Trump use to nickname North Korean leader Kim Jong-un?
Okay, and Keith, let me interrupt here. I'm sorry. Sorry, folks. It's been a while since we've done trivia. So this is number one. So when you reply in the responses, go ahead and put number one and then your answer, okay? So when we go back in a few minutes, we have an idea what you're talking about here because Keith and I have a limited capacity to remember anything.
Right.
So help us out with the 1, a 2, and a 3. All right, so number 2, go ahead, Keith.
And the 2, okay. Number 2, American politician and diplomat Madeleine Albright was born in what Central European country? Huh, no kidding. Madeleine Albright, where was she born?
Okay,
that's number 2.
Let's do a number 3. Here we go.
At the time of his assassination, what play was Abraham Lincoln watching? And I'm just going to throw out, it wasn't Hamilton. I'm pretty sure. Okay, so just scroll that.
Well, there's one possibility. Thanks, Keith.
Yes. All right. Number 3. Number 4. Number 4. Where was Richard Nixon when he delivered his famous "I'm not a crook" speech? Where was he?
Yeah. Okay. Read that again, Keith, with that accent. That was awesome.
Yes, that was "I'm not a crook." Okay. The next. What's that? Where are we on? 5 or 6?
This is number 5. Number 5.
Number 5, in 1952, Albert Einstein was offered the presidency of which country? Huh. Wow, I don't know that one. Okay.
Let's do a number 6. Go ahead.
Okay, number 6. Who was the first U.S. president to be impeached? Okay, huh?
Yeah. Let's go back to a quick review. Number 1, Elton John song for Kim Jong-un. Number 2, Madeleine Albright was born in what European country? Number 3, at the time of his assassination, what play was Lincoln watching? Number 4, where was Nixon when he delivered his infamous "I am not a crook" speech? I was hoping Keith would jump in there, but that's fine. In 52, Einstein was offered the presidency of which country? Who was the first president to be impeached? Is number 6. Okay.
Sorry, Joel. I'm reading over some of the answers here. We got.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we got a lot of check-ins so far.
Okay, very cool. Keith, shall we get to the jokes?
Yeah.
And then we'll get back to.
Yeah, we're running long again as usual, but there's a lot going on this week, so we got a lot to talk about. Yeah, let's do some jokes, and we'll get back to the trivia. And then we'll finish up with a little bit more blabbering, which is what we're good at.
We seem to blabber pretty well.
Yes, yeah.
If we have absolutely nothing to blabber about.
If we were soap, we'd be very blabbery. Get it?
All right, joke number 1, Keith. These all have to do with jobs of some sort.
Okay. Let's hear it.
How many carpenters does it take to screw in a light bulb?
How many?
None. That's the electrician's job. Number 2. How many jugglers does it take to screw in a light bulb?
How many?
1, but he uses at least 3 light bulbs.
Okay.
Number 3. Where do butchers dance?
Where do what?
Where do butchers dance?
Where?
At the meatball.
Okay.
2 more. You can take it, folks. 2 more.
Boy.
What's a gambler's favorite game show?
What?
The Dice is Right.
Yes.
All right, last one. All right. How do garbage men break up with their girlfriends?
How?
They just dump them. Folks, we have nothing to do. We have nothing to do with the joke segment.
Yes.
It is not our fault. Okay, Keith, how about you look at some of the responses and I'll get back to the trivia, okay?
All right, let's go. So you going to read them or am I going to read them?
Yeah, I'll read them off and we'll see what we have over here. Okay. So, number one was, which Elton John song did President Donald Trump use to nickname North Korean leader Kim Jong-un? We have number one. Cool. Jim says Rocket Man.
Yeah, Rocket Man. Yep.
Survey says.
Yep.
Rocket Man. Good job.
All right.
That's awesome. Okay, number two. American politician and diplomat Madeleine Albright was born in what Central European country?
Oh, okay. Well, we have France.
Okay, I see a France.
And it's as good as any because I have no idea.
Yeah, survey says Czechoslovakia.
Oh, she's a Czech. Okay.
Wow. Okay. At the time of his assassination, what play was Abraham Lincoln watching?
Okay, now remember, everybody, before we throw our last votes in, it wasn't Hamilton.
That's a close second.
Barbara Scott, our American cousin.
I see that. Our American. I'm going to go with our American cousin.
Larry, my American cousin. Yep.
Survey says our American cousin.
Oh, good.
Nice. I'm going to say, Keith, that maybe that particular play did not survive the test of time either.
No. For the second run, it got shot down.
All right. That's enough. Where was Richard Nixon when he delivered his infamous?
Oh, yes. Okay. Somebody had that back here. Rich says the Rose Garden, and I believe that is right.
Okay. Survey says Disney World in Orlando, Florida, the contemporary resort.
Wow. I am not a crook. I just like Disney World. Why does Nixon sound a bit like what's his name?
Bernie?
Or yeah.
You got to polish them up.
Right.
In 1952, Albert Einstein was offered the presidency of which country?
Well, Barbara says Austria for number two, but I'm going to say Austria, and I think
let's see. There was a France in there. Maybe it was France as well. Israel.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Albert Einstein was Jewish. Okay.
All right. Who was first U.S. president to be impeached?
And Barbara's got Andrew Johnson, and I'm again. I think it was a while ago. So let's do that.
Okay. Let's see. Andrew Johnson in 1868.
Okay. Very good.
Barbara, that is fantastic.
Wow.
Great job. All right.
Our group was really our American cousin. It's two people I never would have known. I just never would have known that at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's that, Joel. That's wrap.
All right, folks, thank you for joining us today. We had a lot to say about the current state of our election. And all I can say is hopefully at the end of this, let's just say at the end of this, let the vote count, and whomever becomes our next president is there rightfully so because of the people's choice and the people.
Right, exactly. The democratic process worked flawlessly. Yeah. And that's all we have, ladies and gentlemen. That's what separates us from the rest of the world. I've been to Europe. I love Europe desperately. Canada, we've been to, and there's other places that are beautiful places to live, but there is no place better than the United States of America. And we have to cherish that no matter what I did also hear that Biden might get, I think both of them are getting more votes than any votes. I think more votes have been cast this year than any time in history, which is great.
Yep.
So whether you're happy about what's going on, you're unhappy, people got out and voted, and that's the most important thing. Never let anybody tell you that your vote doesn't count, because it counts. That's what we have in democracy. I mean, that's what makes us different than the rest of the world. And we got to cherish that. And we just have to, let this process is going to take a little longer this year. So we'll let it go. And whoever gets in there, let's just hope that we can start on day one and get rid of the most important, biggest problem we have right now is this virus. We got to get on top of it. We got to get it.
Agreed.
We got to get it shut down so we can get everything back open, everybody back to work, and get the economy back on track so we can all buy houses up in the Poconos. Prices of Poconos go up, we sell out, we move back down to Maryland. Just like that. Easy like that. All right, Joel, what's going on next week?
Well, I did want to throw in there before we sign off, the Electoral College. If somebody could point me in the direction of explaining the Electoral College, I'd be very happy. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah, I don't know other than it came about, I believe, a long time before some people could read or write.
Yeah, way back when they wrote the Constitution, right?
Yes, and I think I personally would like to see a vote count for a vote. You know, the different states. Exactly. You know, I mean, you see how the vote it's going now. The middle of the country is all red. Mm-hmm. But there's fewer people there, so I saw Iowa. I think it's Iowa has 3 electoral votes.
Yeah.
So all those people are voting for really almost no reason because they've got not very much say at all in what goes on in. You know, they just all seem to vote the same way, but you know, then we have, what do we have? 20, 22, something like that.
Something like that. I just know I look more at the actual vote count, like where there's like 3 million for Biden, 3 million for that might be a little high for Trump in Pennsylvania. But then you go to one of those other states, and they're counting like 254,000 for Trump, right. 172,000 for Biden. I mean, there's like more people in Delco than there is in most of those states.
Well, sure, yes, and that's why they get fewer. You know, the less populous, the less electoral votes they get. I know that much, but it just seems like a very antiquated way to.
Yeah, I think that's something that needs to be kind of thought out.
You know, I mean, if there's 100,000 people live in South Dakota, you know, it's 30, 70, 40, 60, whatever. That's the way it should come out. You know, it shouldn't come out as, you know, so, but anyway, that's never really been talked about. Wyoming has
it comes up at election time and then it's forgotten about.
Yes.
Pretty much. You know, who thinks about that if it's not a big election like this, you know? So.
Right.
All right, Keith, let's not belabor that point.
Yeah, all right, let's get out of here. And remember, vote. Even in, during the spring, I mean, it was, I'm not going to talk all day about it, but there was a record number of people registering to vote this year. And I started getting paranoid. It's like, do I have to register to vote for the presidency? I mean, I vote every year, the primary, the local stuff and all that kind of stuff. It's like, it's like you register once and you vote every time something comes up. Even if you don't know the people, go and take 10 minutes and read up on them and vote. It takes you a couple minutes while you're getting a cup of coffee, and it makes you feel good about yourself and what you're contributing to your community in the United States. So that's it. Have a great weekend. Boy, I tell you, it's going to be a nice weekend, and I am so glad I'm working all day today and all day tomorrow.
Nice.
So everybody, could you go out and have a beer for me? Just go outside, sit out in the sun, have a beer for me.
And
just
have a beverage, right?
Even a Budweiser, I'd be thankful. So
oddly enough, I have one of them in the fridge.
All right, my Lord. Uncle Keith's got to take a visit to Uncle Joel's place. All right, guys, thanks for stopping by. Remember, you deserve a thought of your own.
So be in touch to learn, laugh, and live. Thanks for joining us on Smack and Jack Live. We'll see you next week.
All right, thanks very much. Have a great day.
Bye-bye, guys. Wait, hold on. I got to get to our outro.
Jack up your knees, smack in the face like